Hello, and welcome back to RPGun, where I have a lot more progress that I'll be showing off. And so I'll just get into play mode and show everything that is new with this update. The player would go through it. Firstly, there's a working menu where you can start, select a level, or quit out. And I'll just hit start, and immediately you'll see this first area still unfinished, but you can see these goblins are all charging towards me, as well as this archer goblin here is shooting at me, and the arrows are actually going towards where I am when he shoots them, which was the goal of those. Yep. Sarah's doing 25 each, and then these goblins do 10 each. So I'll just try and avoid all those. So the goal with this first area will be for the player to do some simple parkour through these platforms. Get the gun, and for them to see how the door and keys work. There we go. Should do. Yep. So the shooting does work with all these guys, but there's some problems. And a lot of the time the goblin just refuse to die, even though it acknowledges that they have been hit. The healing still works. The apples. So I'll just continue forward by shooting that next level spot over there to trigger that. There we go. So here in level 2, you have your typical RPG starting village where you get your quest. If I hop over here, this villager explains to me that everything has been broken up into islands and floating into the sky because of a witch. And as if that weren't bad enough, there's also a bunch of goblin hordes attacking. So I've got to go fix that. Got to go deal with that. So on this island here, you can collect up some apples to use for healing later. And also possibly the saddest NPC that I've ever made. He just misses his favorite bush. Yeah, we'll get this apple. And then up behind here is, like he said, there's this key, which we can bring with us onto the next area. See more of these floating platforms that will carry us through certain points. And I can hop over into this gate, which will go into the next level, also unfinished, but I do want to point out here that this level will be where the split decision is made, as if you go to this next level point here, it will take you down into a cave, or this point over here up into a mountain, which is also unfinished. This is where I was just testing out my archer guy. Also want to point out that the arrows actually face towards you, or towards where they're shot. You also saw the goblins are facing towards you. Well, technically they're facing sideways. I still gotta fix that, but yeah. And if I go to this point here, so now I've finally made it to the big boss, Glib One Eye, the Goblin Elder. So the actual witch is just going to have a story bit at the end instead of a boss fight. So I decided big goblin guy would be a good end. For now, he's just standing there, but this will be a bit of a challenge as there will be those moving platforms all across the arena trying to push you off and knock you out into the void, as well as a few charger goblins spawning every now and again. But Glib here is actually the first enemy that you can't just insta-kill with the gun. So, and also not just any point in his body will take damage. You have to hit him in his eye. And you see the boss health bar up there is actually working. Does still have a bit of a problem where you can't shoot him a bunch of times in a row. I think it just acknowledges the first bullet 5 out of a set. Yeah. And you can take him down and get onto the end. That is pretty much everything for this update. So I will. There he's dead. So now let's go through the blueprints that are making all this possible over here in the chaotic first level. It's it all nice and neat. Got the charger now working to charge for the player, and this section makes it look at them. And the damaging bit, they test for if they're overlapping with anything. If that thing is a bullet, they die. If that thing is the player, they damage it. Same for, well, same for the arrow, the archer, all pretty similar here. And then the game instance here, still the same for all the inventory stuff, but now it also is controlling the key and Apple UI. Then the player health has a new bit to enable that UI. Down below everything, there is a kill zone so that the player doesn't just fall into a void. And it actually just resets the level for them. This is how the moving platforms function, by these interpolated control points where it just moves between them. And I have these on this one here. I have these nice widgets in the world that I can place around, and it goes to those points and back and forth between them. And then the Cyclops, which for right now is just standing there. I haven't put the rotation thing on him yet because didn't want him to face him sideways and I couldn't shoot the eye. And then all the many events for the different buttons and the level selects and the other menu stuff. And the health bar up here, which is just like a normal health bar, tracking boss's health instead. Yeah, so that's everything I have for this update. I should be able to get everything else done, like finishing the levels and fixing the few blueprints that still need work by the end of the week. Thanks for watching.